Mock Moda says, cool, a Woodscopes parody show. Don't forget Mock Moda. If we were doing a Woodscopes parody show, there would be no show on because he never broadcasts anymore.
If this was a Woodscopes parody show, Frank, we wouldn't have read that comment. So come on.
Totally inappropriate.
Goddamn shoes. Yeah. Or he got blown off the toilet.
Goddamn shoes.
This is like the new flatulence show. Balance.
Shit, I'm missing.
Balance.
All right, my guess is in. What are you guys guessing? What happened to this bathroom? Bacon is guessing poop.
Here we are. It is the water hole with Rob Headstrom Bacon and Horse.
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. Ryan, thanks for letting me fill in. And yeah, it's good to be here.
Hey, Ryan, you know where you show up in my DMs? You used to be in the top 3 or 4 because we would collaborate. At number 22, let me tell you who was above you. Margot, Bernard, Jana, Jeffrey Southfield, Mark and Boston, Wells, in the 360 he was gone for 13 days. Salty Sarah T, Brad and Corona, Marie in Denver, Mike and Indy, Amber in Portland, Liz, Covenant of Jefferson, which is Jane Humboldt, Curtis Merrill, 12 Wood, Golden Lake Warrior, Tiffany Blossom, Woodscopes, we have a channel for that, it's Bacon and 12 Wood Macintosh, and 512 Lumber, and Pets from Bacon is, he was at the top of the list.
Check out Horse name dropping the tape.
Here's your some asshole with a goatee. Of course, you're gonna see it with the audience. Contents: one fucking shit fuck with a goatee. Seriously, just shave the shit off. It's the water hole, and that's not Rhino.
No, it's not Rhino.
That's Frank and Boise, right? And then, yeah, Frank instead of Rhino. So, yeah, you've been demoted, Riot. He's like trading us up.
You know what? He was actually on the Outlaws of Potato. He was Rhino, the sports guy segment on my show. Like he did it twice and then fucking blew me off. He goes, you know what? There's better out there. He's doing the same thing to everybody.
He uses us up, gets to where he wants to go next, and then he tosses us aside like a used condom. So, the elephant in the room. No, not you. No. Ryan is not here, and I announced it about 3 hours ago. Ryan, he's got his life and privacy and everything else, but he is a co-host of The Waterhole with me.
Hey guys. We are right in that prime position where we can get Horse to say anything, and it'll be a sound drop forever. Which way we want to go?
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey, he's losing his mind right now.
Oh my God.
He just lost his mind.
I'm an idiot. All right. It's the Jim in Indiana.
Hi, Jim.
Everybody in Jim in Indiana. Look at this. There he is. There's the man. There's the man that invented the 12 by 12 challenge.
Hold on. I'm
gonna
be the voice of God for this one here.
Okay,
Yes.
good. I'm glad
The
you
voice
did.
of God
I'm excited.
returns.
You're gonna catch it on the delay, obviously. This is a live gooey duck clam. Watch this.
不准笑，喷水了。
So she's gonna dip it in some sauce. It's alive.
辣椒油，
Live. We'll do it
辣椒
live.
面，
She's putting whatever.
一样都不能少，不拼，老铁是不会给我双击的。
There it goes. And she's gonna bite into this thing. That's suggestive. Gotta have the sound correct.
起来，给咱家铁子敬个礼，告诉咱家铁子，我要直播了。
The following program is intended for mature
还敢喷老铁
audiences.，
还敢喷老铁。起来，起来，再干，给我要个双击，给我要
The
个双
following
击。
program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
我喜欢
That's good. Cut it out. The Lorena Bobbitt. Oh.
让我听着喷我，
Ouch.
让我听着喷我。
Oh. I'm out of here. There we are. There we are. I hit the mark tonight. I didn't miss it like last night. What's up, gentlemen?
Yo.
We have Ryan for 10 minutes. And that's what she said. And Headstrom Bacon for the entire show. We got Tyler in the audience saying, what the hell is this? Staying on brand. And who do the Kings play tonight?
Shut up, Tyler.
Shut up, Tyler.
Playing our rivals, the Lakers.
The Lakers, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
The Fakers.
The Lakers, the floppers. Yes.
The floppers. Yeah. So how's my whatever taste, Matt Ballet? We need to set a bet with that guy for this game. We're always talking so much junk on via text message, but this should be.
So I just shared this, and some troll named Scarlett Wells.
So I thought the same thing, and I clicked on her name. No, she's a creator. She's a content
creating
creator.
eye-catching graphics for your online journey. She's following 21 people and has 178 followers.
I know who this is. She does designer graphics for like openings of shows. Like she'll like what Ryan just showed us with the icon for the app that he's got.
So I probably shouldn't block the shit out of her.
No, she's actually I know who that is. She makes stream graphics and different things. So yeah, not. I mean, trust me, I get liked by a lot of people that look attractive as her, but no, I know who that is. She actually's got her own business where she does graphic design work for streaming shows. So good for her.
She is one of the people when I put out on Twitter, I need a logo. She was one of the ones that responded.
Oh, nice.
She's not a troll. Then.
No,
That's good.
she's
right.
she's a
more to it
businesswoman.
than that, Bacon.
Yeah,
legit.
Bacon. You jerk. Bacon.
And
Yeah,
she
I don't
looks
get
like
that,
Tyler.
Bacon, and I don't care to get that.
She looks like Tyler's next ex-girlfriend.
It might be. Tyler's
Could be.
all. He's like, wait a minute. What?
Hey, baby,
And
you
again,
looking for a party?
Tyler is running around, high-fiving all of X, I'm sure. And what are we talking about right now? We're talking about Tyler all morning long. Tyler is getting national run. Tyler is getting all this attention. Nobody knew who this guy was.
Tyler. Oh, I love it. I love it. All right, gentlemen, let me run down the show real quick. We will revisit one of last night's stories, and then by that time, I think Ryan's got to bail out.
We're not going to be talking about
Briefly.
beer, are we?
Very briefly.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
okay. We're going to
briefly.
hit this one again? All right.
Very, very briefly. Like, very.
Yeah, it better be. Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to revisit last night's beer story. We are not going longer than 2 minutes on this. Our weigh-in results. We're going to start that right now. So weigh-in results. Last week, as everyone remembers, and if you forget, I will gladly remind you, Ryan gained 5 pounds last week in our diet challenge. It's not a challenge. It's a personal thing, but we are dieting.
6, 7.
So he gained 5. So is he going to gain more this week? Let's find out. Tyler loves your drops, by the way. So he went from 269.8, and then last week he went 274.8. Whoops. There you go. Thank you for the fat, by the way. I have to do 2 screen swipes to get to it. I got down to 189 last week. This week, I'm going to start with me. I went from 189 to 187. I lost 2. That's 2 for me. I lost 2 pounds. I am a total
Haunted
of...
horse.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. I am down a total of 8.5 pounds, and 187 puts me within 12 pounds of my goal weight, which is 175.
That's for you, bitch.
Now, Ryan, after gaining 5 pounds, got back in the right direction.
Yes.
And he lost, he's down to 270.3. He lost 5 more pounds. He's a total of minus 17.7. Yay, kids. Whoop. The kids stuttered. There you go. All right, so there you go. We are headed back in the right direction in Sacktown. So good for you, dude. Down 17.7 total.
Diets, you know, they're attainable.
Well, that should be easy enough.
He had a problem with people eating pizza around him and saying no.
I tried. Well, I justified it. I had 2 salads instead of 1, but it still wasn't enough.
Hey,
a little bit.
Frank is in the audience, so I've got to play the Frank drop.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised.
Frank uses frank language. So there you go. All right. Does anyone mind if I toss my salad? Hey, that's how I lose weight. Lots of salad tossing. Jury duty was today. I've got a little bit of show content about jury duty. I will make boring jury duty seem fun. Let's put it that way. I've got stuff to talk about. And then, of course, weird news.
Buzzkill.
So some of this weird news, I have a feeling we're not going to have time for. Anything that we don't have time for, we will run into tomorrow's show. Tomorrow's show, folks, we've got 2 football bets going. So I'm having trouble paying you guys with one. I made 2 totally different bets. We've got Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, and 2 members of the chat tomorrow. Bacon's ineligible because he's here tonight. 2 members of the chat tomorrow. We will draw 2 different names. So you will, and they were totally different bets. So you literally 2 people could win tomorrow. So
yeah, but you have to tell them also that one is on the game tomorrow night and the other is on the opening game for the XFL season.
The XFL,
so,
yes, right.
Yeah,
that'll never
so
pay.
You might have to.
Yes, they are both on tomorrow night's games. They both involve, very winnable scenarios. So I'm gonna pay 1. I'm hoping, and 2 would be awesome. So here's our stories. Most of these we'll get to as many as we can. Cheating husband said our house was infested with bed bugs to hide his affair. So this from the wife's perspective. Apparently, the husband said, "Oh, our house has bed bugs," and he was trying to cover up an affair. So I have no idea what that's about.
Plausible, Darren? Question mark. Signed Darren's wife.
Darren's wife. Yeah, Darren. Did she say there was bed bugs in the house? Friends on an Amsterdam trip mortified by cheeky shower feature in hotel room. I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's like something stuck to the shower. A hole in the shower. I don't know. But they were, quote, mortified. So there you go. This one. Yoko was funny.
Yoko.
This one we're not going to spend a lot of time on. I'm just curious about an opinion. But mom labeled rude and entitled for not making her children say thank you for gifts. I would have an answer for that. If that was my family, I would just stop giving those kids gifts.
Why is she still talking?
And that would be my way to end around the mom. Okay, fine. Niece and nephew don't get presents anymore. There you go. F you. I refuse to swap seats. So the plane seat again with a child. Now, last time it was like a 16-year-old. And we're like, they're 16. They can sit by themselves. This time it's a 10-year-old. So do our opinions change? And then this one may get pushed into tomorrow. I don't know. I have 3 wives. There's a sound drop for the future.
Yeah.
I have 3 wives.
Okay.
They are
10
all
minutes in. Okay.
Yes, right. I have 3 wives. They are all getting surgery to achieve my ideal body type. Wow, look at this guy. So he's not only married to 3 women, but they're getting surgery to get augmented in the way he is most attracted to.
Hey, baby, you looking for a party?
What an idiot. If you have 3 wives, choose 3 different types of body styles that you like. Don't get the same body style on all 3.
By the way, since it is the holiday season, Ryan said 3 wives and not 3 wise men. You know, that could be very, You know,
that wasn't for you, Ryan. That was for the idiot that didn't get three different, like get a blonde, get a brunette, get a redhead, right?
Come on, man. Mix
exactly.
It up.
All right, Ryan's getting ready to bail. I'm looking at the clock. 10 minutes after he's got to do his Sacramento Kings pregame show, where he uses the best opening segment ever invented for an internet show. Oh, because I made
Get
it.
him out of here.
Hi, Jim. Let's revisit real quickly. 2 minutes. We're not spending a lot of time on this. The beer story. So Bacon was in the chat last night. He was a viewer. Ryan and I were doing the news. I did the gross story. This is gross. If you want to plug your ears for 2 minutes, plug your ears. But anyway, this online
drinking 1%.
model
Is that 'cause you think you're fat?
that someone in this group thinks is extremely hot. I will not out them. They said it in the chat though. Was making beer out of her yeast from her vagina. She was using vagina yeast. It sent it to a company. They are you gonna vomit? Last night Ryan got really white as a sheet. Using yeast from her vagina, and they replicate it, put it in this grower or whatever, bacterium grower, and then they make beer out of it, and then you can buy beer that is fermented with the yeast of this amaranth, if anyone knows who that is. Any comments? Because you were in the chat and you said it wasn't possible with the yeast, but we said that they're using hers and a champagne.
No, they still have to use a type of brewer's yeast.
Okay,
because people have done this in the past. I looked up something and it was from 2005.
Okay,
so people have done this. But they actually had an answer from a brewmaster, and he said, "Sure, you could put whatever you want in there. You still have to use brewer's yeast, and if you put a counteractive or a different type of yeast in there, you're more than likely going to ruin the flavor." He says you might as well eat pennies.
All right. Well, is it going to ruin the flavor if it's a hot chick's yeast? I don't know. Anyway. Ryan's already given us his comment on the show. If you want to see the entire segment,
well, hang on a second before you go, Ryan. Apparently, Bill O'Reilly has tried this beer.
Fucking really?
There you go. Just setting up my own sound drops. Right?
He drank the beer again, and what did he say?
Fucking thing sucks.
Oh wow, nice. All right, so if you want to see, anyone wants to see this segment, that was last night's show, around the 30-minute mark, give or take. And you can I read the entire article. Ryan turned white. He made that little twitchy throat thing like you're getting ready to hurl.
And the brewmaster that actually agreed to do this.
My bad. I called it wrong. My bad.
Darren says, "Oh wow, stank pussy yeast beer. What could go wrong?" Well,
exactly.
Guess
here's the question, right?
She's gonna make a lot of money.
The main question for me is, if you didn't know that was in the beer, would you know that beer is different?
No, well, I don't know.
Well, people drink so much crap these days. I mean, it was I only drink IPAs and everything. Do half the people who drink IPAs actually know what the acronym stands for? Probably not.
It stands for It's Pussy Amaranth.
I guess so.
Oh wow,
IPA. We've been drinking it the whole time and not knowing it.
Like a goddamn pussy to me.
It's Pussy Amaranth. That's IPA. Who knew?
Bacon isn't the meaning of IPA racist?
No, it's a nationality.
Okay.
It's India.
You racist piece of shit.
I think he wanted that drop, Bacon. I think he was fishing for it. He loves that drop.
I love that drop.
All right. And then she was also she would fart into a jar, put the top on, and sell her farts for $1,000. And apparently she couldn't keep them on the shelf. They were just flying off the shelf. People spending $1,000 to sniff her farts. So there's a lot of really freaky efforts out there. It's just, this chick is just, all her bodily fluids are turned into gold. So.
If you buy one of her farts, do you even open it? Or are you like showing it off?
What, you want to age it like a fine wine? Like, oh, wait, we got to go 2 more years until it's really good.
Well, maybe you like use it as a gag thing at your house. You know,
$1,000 gag.
This is amaranth, dude. There's a whole subculture.
I can fart in a jar and say it's
stuff.
from amaranth, and no one's gonna know. What are they gonna DNA test the fart? Say, oh wait, this is from amaranth. It's from you liar.
Yeah,
give me my $1,000 back.
Oh,
if they resell it on eBay, how do you prove that it wasn't?
And remember when I was in the
fake?
chat and I said, is this going to be the poop in the hot tub thing? It's an old video. It used to be. I remember E-Bombs World. Do you guys remember that?
Yes,
yeah. It was on that EBAUM.
Okay, so I know that. Yes.
Bombs World. Yeah. So Ryan has seen this before. It's like the people are like they're filming like a commercial or something in there, and the redheaded chick is, how long is this going to take? And then she's like. And all of a sudden she jumps up like this, and then the water just turns like liquid brown. It's like really gross.
Oh,
she sort of looks like Amaranth a little bit. So yeah, she yeah.
So if you pay $1,000 for Amaranth's fart, and you open it up, and there's no smell, you know what that means?
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
You get nothing. You spent $1,000 for nothing. Don't buy farts for $1,000 because you're gonna get ripped off. All right, don't you have to go somewhere, Ryan? I said that was gonna be a 2-minute segment.
Yeah,
you're having fun, and you got to do your stupid. LeBron is 35% from 3-point, and his turnover to assist ratio is 7-1. This show is so much more fun than that show. But go, shoot.
That really sounded
like Ryan.
That really sounded like your Jim impression.
Everything sounds.
Hi, Jim.
Everything sounds the same with me.
Now I can
You got like one impression.
I have a woman impression and a man impression. That's it.
It
That's
sounds
all.
like Jim.
Hi, Jim.
All right, get out of here so I can talk about my
Jim.
jury duty, and I'll make
All
it.
right, have a great
interesting,
show,
folks.
boys.
All right, enjoy the Kings LeBron game. Hope he doesn't
Thank
flop
you.
too much.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right,
Bye.
Go home to mommy.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Go home to mommy.
I was gonna hit him. I hit him with this one last time. So
Yeah, I like it. I like it. All right. At the end of the Kings game, if they have more points than the Lakers, he can say,
You won.
all right. Yes, I did have jury duty today, and I was very adamantly against it. First of all, I lost a day's pay. That's the first thing. That cost me a lot of money.
But hang on a second. This was just selection, though, was it not? They were going through selection. Weren't there a bunch of people? And it actually the first attendance is selection, is it not?
Oh no, Sir Canada.
Okay,
oh
so
no,
let's
Sir
go back.
Canada.
No. I missed that. Well, see, I missed that part. So
Yeah.
so you were already went through that process?
No. We don't drag shit out here. We do it all in the same day. We start.
Gotcha.
So I started freezing my ass off outside the door at 8 a.m. because they're like, if you're late and you're not here for the introduction, you're going to have to come back at a later date. So I didn't want to do this twice. So I got there 20 minutes early. They don't open the doors until 8 a.m. And I'm freezing. It's cold. I had my jacket on, but
You
it
should
was
have gotten there
chilly.
2 hours early and gotten a good parking spot.
Oh, right.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, luckily there was plenty of parking because they give you 2 floors of a parking garage, and there weren't that many people. So we're all in line. Then you got to go through metal detectors. So that took for freaking ever. 45 minutes to get through this line just to get in the door. Then we go down into the big assembly area, and they give you the paperwork, and you got to fill out all this stuff. I'm juror number.
And how many people are we talking about here?
I counted roughly about a 120. 120.
Okay. Yep.
So, but I'm looking as I get up to the metal detector. I'm looking at all the courts the things that are going on today. I'm like, oh, I'm thinking outside. I'm thinking, oh man, I got a 1 in 12, 1 in 14 chance of getting picked. And then I'm seeing all the court cases on the docket for the day, probably like 30, 35. I'm like, oh shit, what if they pick like 7 juries out of this. My odds are going down. So anyway, I wait in the thing. We had to watch this thing about this video. It's 11 minutes long about bias. What do they call it? Something about like you have biases, but they're not conscious, subconscious bias. So they were like talking about like you may be biased. Yeah, pretty much. You may be racist, but it's in your subconscious. Your conscious, you're like, no, everyone's the same and everything, where you have these things that have happened to you in your past and you've got to be aware of them. And as long as you're aware of them and you identify them and you don't let it doesn't like tell you to.
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like my sister-in-law when she says, I don't see color.
Yeah, right. Everybody apparently does.
Right.
And you're supposed to like weed it out in the process and be fair and impartial. Anyway, whatever. We did this. So then we're sitting there and we get a 20-minute break. So I just sit there for 20 minutes. We gather back around and they start calling jury numbers. I'm the second fucking number called. Son of a frick. So they call number 98, and the only reason I know 98 because I have to know where I am in the line. So I got to know where number 98 is because I'm always going to be behind him. So 98, 272. I'm like, here, son of a. And they call out 24 numbers. Then a guy comes down, the jury coordinator. He goes, okay, I'm going to have you guys line up. You got to stay in order how I call you. So 98, he goes up there, 272. Yay, me. I go up there. We get all 24 of us. And then they march us up 4 flights of stairs. Now, the old people that want to take the elevator, they can, but they got to remember who's in front of you, who's behind you. You've got to be in your spot. Whatever. Okay, so we get in there. Then they line us into the courtroom backwards. So I'm at the second to the last spot. I'm thinking, oh, this is probably good, right? So they line us in the court, and then they're all filling the benches, and then the last 6 of us are in this little box area, right? I didn't even dawn on me that was a bad thing. I'm just like, they don't have room. They're going to put everyone in there, and they're going to ask us a bunch of questions. About halfway through the question answering person, and I did notice they were asking us a lot more questions than these people over there, and it didn't click. So halfway through, this guy to my left, 2 people to my left, this older guy with a long beard, he's like, why are we here and why are they there? So then the defense attorney goes, that's a good point. Well, you are there because you're the most likely 6 people that are going to be on the jury, and they're over there, and as they get farther away, and then he points to you people over there, you're probably not going to be on the jury. So the farther you get away from these 6, the better off you are not being on this thing. And we're all like, we all go.
Collective sigh.
Oh, it was a shit show because he noticed, and about 2 minutes later, he goes, so you 6, when you found out that you were the 6 most likely jurors, what was your opinion? Did anyone say, oh crap, raise your hand? And I raised my hand. I was the only one. He goes, why did you think, oh crap? So this is something that the audience doesn't know about me yet. Breaking news. Wait, I got breaking news graphic. There we go.
Shit is about to get real.
With another
has breaking news.
You know what? It is big enough news for everybody. I have anxiety panic disorder, and it can be pretty brutal. So I have real big problems with panic attacks and anxiety, but through treatment and therapy, I've got it in a pretty good. However, one of my triggers is being either locked or trapped. And so I have problems with airplanes and elevators, and I'm doing real well with those lately. I do have medication if it gets really bad. And I've gotten to the point where I don't need it anymore. And I haven't had one of those pills in over a year. So I've got it pretty under control. However, throw something new like a jury duty that I've never done before, and the thought of being in this little jury box where I can't leave for 3 hours or whatever until they allow me to leave, and I can't do my breathing exercise and everything is terrifying. Because I'm thinking in the middle of this trial, if I start to melt down, I have nowhere to go, and I can't just go, hey, court, give me about 5 minutes. I'm going to start doing my breathing exercises that I learned from my therapist. Just give me 5 minutes. Okay. You know, all that crap. Or put on my headphones where I have like calming, like these, anyway. I've got these things that I can use, these tools I can use. I use them at work. And my work accommodates it, but a courtroom is not designed to deal with that. So I was amazed because I thought that there was a possibility I could have a meltdown. We got to the point where I was one of the 6, and that did not trigger me into a panic like, oh shit. I was like, but I did have to tell him
but I'm going to pause you
why.
right here real quick.
What's that?
Were you wearing the haunted horse shirt?
So that's I'm going to get to that.
Okay, you can get to, okay,
no,
I'm sorry.
I was not,
okay,
but I will
All
get
right.
to that in a minute.
All
I talked myself out of that. I thought that
Okay.
might be a bad idea.
All right, go ahead. Yeah.
So he said, sir, you raised your hand. Oh, crap. Why? And so I had to kind of look at these 24 people in there. I go, look, I suffer from anxiety disorder. Now, I filled it out on my paperwork. Is there any reason why you might be... And I sent it in, and they didn't freaking dismiss me or whatever. So I said, I do have anxiety. He goes, is it going to prevent you from doing a trial? And I said, you know what? I am pleasantly amazed at how well I'm doing. This is not bothering me at all. And he goes, are you going to be able to perform your duties as a juror? And the trial might go into tomorrow morning. So all the way until tomorrow morning until we're done. I said, I cannot promise that. I'm doing great now, but I never know when it's going to come. But I think that I'm going to be fine because I've made it this far and I'm really got it under control. That probably is the reason why the story coming up later. By the way, I got a jury sticker to wear all day. Look at that. So we have to wear these so they know who the jurors are and who everyone else is. So anyway, I'm in the second, but all the other questions I answered, I'm like, I'm going to be on the jury. Cause like everything was like, just, I was killing it. As if you wanted a perfect juror, I was the guy. I was unbiased, and we talked about
America with COVID. We're number one.
Right? Yeah,
we're
right?
number one.
I mean, here's the other thing that may have sunk me. Out of all the jurors, all 24 of us, I talked more than anyone else, easily 2-1. Shocker, right? I was the most vocal. I was the most answering the questions.
God, are you still talking?
Yes, there were a lot of people giving like yes and no answers, and they were they can't act annoyed. The prosecutor and the defense, they can't because you don't want to make anyone not like you. But I could tell they were frustrated that people weren't talking. So they kept coming back to me so that I would say what they wanted to say. Like, yes. So anyway, I thought for sure I was going to be picked. So after an hour and a half of questioning, they take us into a break room, let us go to the bathroom, whatever. And I'm like, oh, shit. And when they said tomorrow, I quickly turned my phone back on. I'd say let us. We had to have everything off. And I said, I'm probably going to be on jury, but I'm doing great. Great meaning the anxiety is freaking under control. So we go back and we're all standing up in the back and they go, okay, we're going to call you 6. And they started, the first 2 they called were the same 2 people that were sitting in the original 6. Then they get to the old man who was really grumpy, very direct, but respectful, but he was just agitated. Boom. They did not call him. I knew he was gone. Then they got to this woman that was next to me, and she actually in the break room said, I have anxiety disorder, and they didn't ask me, and I should have said something, but I just didn't want to, and it's like, I get it because that's what anxiety is. You don't want to raise your hand and say, hey. So she was really quiet when she was asking questions and yes or no answers. I don't remember, but I don't think they called her. And then I thought, okay, here it comes, 272. And when they called another number, I'm like, okay, I'm still not out of the woods because I could be sliding one over for this other guy that was next to me. When they called number 98, the guy that was originally there, and they go, okay, there's our 6. I was the fucking happiest man in the back of the court. I'm not going to lie, because I thought for sure I was on that thing. And it was like winning a fucking lottery ticket. My smile was so huge because I thought you drew attention to yourself, says Darren. Probably. I don't know. It wasn't unconscious bias. I know that because I answered all those questions perfectly. But yeah, anyway, I couldn't believe I didn't get picked. I could not. So it was either the anxiety or it was I thought this might sabotage me. So I didn't go out of my way to put any bad stuff out there to try to get kicked off because I was taking it responsibly. And since I was doing fine, I'm like, fine, I'm going to be what I should be, which is a good citizen and whatever. But I did say when the guy was asking me about my anxiety, he had said, I'm an introvert, natural introvert, and I've worked on it. And after I'd answer all these questions so good and everything, they were like, you don't seem like it. I said, it's because I hide it well. I do an internet show 3 times a week, and I wasn't promoting the show, but usually they don't want people like that because you're going to go when the case is over and say, hey, this guy was guilty, and and they don't know how big your audience is. They only know me as 272. I could have 10 viewers. I could have 1,000. I could have 10,000. I could have 9. So I threw that out there thinking it might sabotage me, but it's also true. And that may have pushed it over the edge like, okay. But I think the anxiety, they didn't have alternates. So if I would have went sideways during that trial, they would have had to redo the entire thing. I'm sure the judge probably said, you know what? We're not doing that. We need to get this case done. So I think the anxiety probably, but it was all honest. I put down on the paperwork my 2 doctor's numbers, the medication I take. So it's not like I'm just making up a bunch of bullshit. But I knocked it out of the park as far as anxiety goes. I was so cool.
So as much of a pain in the butt. So what I'm getting out of all this is,
yes.
So as much of a pain in the butt this is, you probably, like I would have had some anxiety going into this and just like thinking about it and just like
I did
God,
for 2 weeks.
Pain in the
dreaded
ass,
it,
and then you got to worry about it, all the rest of it.
Yes,
this was a win for you.
So it's a win, and for people that don't have everyone has anxiety, everybody, right? I have anxiety on steroids that cripples me when it's happening, and what's funny is it's not like some guy mugger comes out with a knife or whatever. I'm not scared of that. Because I can see the threat. What bothers me is when there's life and death in my brain and there's nothing around me to indicate I'm in danger. And I start to why am I going into fight or flight for no reason? Like an elevator, for most people, why would you be scared in there? The walls start closing in. I start imagining the power going out. There's a fire in the building. I'm stuck in there. I'm going to burn alive. There's an earthquake. I'm stuck. I start to go through these.
But see, here's the thing though. You could easily explain that to somebody by literally putting him in a box and closing the door and making it dark. They would eventually get freaked the fuck out.
If they couldn't get out, if you were locking it and they were in there until you let them out, yes, they eventually do get it.
It's no different. And everybody has a certain amount of anxiety over certain things. There's some real, cool cats out there that just, things are kind of baseline.
Sure.
But there's always something that's going to bring you anxiety. And by anxiety, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's mind crippling, being, basically reverting to our
I had one put me in the emergency room.
Self. Anxiety could also mean, a bunch
worried about a child, or they're out late. Oh my gosh, they're getting having
everybody concern has about things. That's
mine.
Still anxiety.
When it happens and it's not a viable fear, I had one put me in the emergency room. That was the one that finally got me help. But that was over 20 years ago. It put me in the emergency room because I literally thought I was dying. I felt like my brain was being ripped into. So anyway. So, the reason for someone that suffers with this magnified panic disorder thing is this is the thing everyone needs to know. When you go into your fear and you don't avoid it, when you avoid it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why people end up being shut-ins at home, because they allow it to squeeze them into a place where they won't attack it. You've got to, things that make you scared, you've got to do them. And so that's why today was kind of important. So once I did it and realized it was fine, it's just one more empowerment down the road. So I told you I want to go back caving. That's been something, my claustrophobia got so bad that I didn't want to go into a cave anymore. So I've got one of those planned this summer. And so anyway, that's where it was beneficial. I didn't let it keep me from doing the thing I went and did the thing, and I'm here and I'm safe and I'm fine. I didn't melt down. So yeah, you've got to always be pushing against the fear. You do. Now I have family members that don't, and their lives are very miserable because they're shut-ins. They won't leave the house because it's gotten so bad that going out the front door is overwhelming. So anyway, yeah, it runs in my family, unfortunately. Anxiety is waking up to realize you just barebacked my ex-wife the night before. Guess who that's from without looking.
And then look at the one before that.
Yeah, can you imagine being judged by a horse? Yes.
Don't forget Mark Moda.
So let's get back to your question. Last night we were talking about wearing the haunted horse shirt to the courtroom. Not this one with the noose around the neck.
Because I caught that kind of in passing because I was listening, and then it was,
yes. So at one time, it did sound like a good idea, but I really didn't want the judge, especially if I was going to have anxiety issues, that'd be one more reason for the judge not to like me. So I wore this hat, Grenada, but they made me take it off once we went in the courtroom. And then I wore my just a collared polo nice shirt with a pocket, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to stack the deck against me early on. If I do have issues, I need the judge to be on my side. And yeah, so anyway, I think I got booted because of my anxiety, but I'm not sure. Maybe because I talked so much. They're like, oh my God, if the trial will go 3 days if we have this guy on the jury. Hey, I have another question.
Yeah, right. Real quick, the best out that I had was I used to play in a hockey league. It was an essential services hockey league. So there were cops in this league. It was, so, and there were police officers on every single team. So I could have been in you basically drop up. I may or may not have heard about this case in the locker room, and boom, you're gone. So I got that going for me. I have a couple other things going for me to be able to get out of jury duty.
They ask on the questionnaire, and then they ask again, do you have any friends, close friends or family members in law enforcement? Of course, 5 hands go up. They want to know who it is, a defense attorney. And the defense attorney even admitted, he goes, my mother remarried a police officer. And he says, at Thanksgiving dinner, we do not talk about our jobs because defense attorney, police officer, he goes, we just don't talk about it at all.
Well, there's a certain, having been in that league and having some ties to that and all the rest of it, it's like nobody talks about their job outside of the job with things like that, because there's, it's like, you always get the idiots, and we all have friends and acquaintances that are like this, that are like,
yes,
oh, you must see some pretty gnarly shit.
Yes.
Do you people know what PTSD is?
Yes. Yes.
It's just like,
yes.
Yeah. So
you
are
see a fellow officer shot,
whether
you really want to relive that shit. Yeah.
Whether you're a police officer, firefighter, paramedic, ER, either nurse, doctor, whoever.
Yeah.
You see people on the worst day of their life every single day. Yeah. Let me talk about that at a social gathering.
Yeah, right. I want to relive that shit. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So lastly, wrapping up the jury. So the case was, because we were told what the case was before they even started questioning, a sexual assault. I'm like, oh shit, I don't really want to be on this. But I found out later it was a misdemeanor. So it was grabbing of the buttocks. And because of the questions coming at us, 2 things. The defendant wasn't going to get on the stand. I mean, the guy asked so many ways of, are you going to be biased if he doesn't take the stand? He doesn't need to take the stand. So I figured that out. And alcohol was involved. So the prosecutor wanted to know, is someone less responsible is not the right word. Less culpable, I guess, if they're drunk versus they're sober. Like, do they get an excuse if they're drunk? Like, oh, they were drunk. So no one raised their hand like, no, they get less. Because no, I mean, if you assault somebody, it doesn't matter what your state is, you're still responsible. You're not going to get, oh, he was drunk. Even though we tend to do that with drinking, driving. It seems like people don't get held accountable as much with that. But
and then Tyler's in there. He says no butt stuff. I'm out.
Yeah, right.
You should have had the butt stuff tea on.
So
shut up, Tyler.
What's interesting though is when they said what the charges were, I just assumed it was going to be really bad. But when we were in the 20-minute break, the jury coroner said, because we asked why there's only 6 jurors. And he goes, well, you only have 6 jurors for a misdemeanor. I'm like,
right.
Wait a minute, sexual assault's misdemeanor? This case is a misdemeanor case. We don't need 12. We need 6. And I'm like, oh, well, then it's probably grabbing, no, probably through, I don't know. But I guess like grabbing the jean, the person had pants on. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, it's not going to be as gross and graphic as I was imagining. Like, I didn't want to hear.
Still an assault. It's still an assault, right? It still falls
still
under
an assault, but
it's not at the level.
I was thinking of rape, basically, even though they didn't use the word rape.
I don't need to be hearing that stuff. And everything
I didn't. I said I had a problem with it when the prosecutor asked. Yeah. I said, well, there's a line of stuff I don't want to hear, and he used an analogy because they can't talk about the case. So he used an analogy. He goes, I do a lot of prosecutions against abuse to animals. And when I say, do people have, they're going to see pictures and everything, a lot of hands tend to go up. Because who wants to see, a kitty or a puppy tortured or whatever? And he goes, so using that example, is it going to be equally hard to have and I kind of raised my hand. I said, I don't know the case, but there is a level that I don't want to see any pictures. I don't want to hear any testimony. And so he basically said, so there's a line, but where's the line at? And I go, well, it's up here. There is a line. And anyway, that could have gotten me off the jury too. Yeah. I don't want to hear that.
No. Exactly.
I just don't.
But bottom line, it was an interesting experience.
It gave us
and to get a positive out of it the way you did. Hey, good stuff. And
the anxiety positive was gold. Yeah. I mean, that was worth 3 months of therapy to get what I got today. Darren said thumb in the butt. No, I would imagine since it's a misdemeanor, there's no penetration, guys. Yeah, I would imagine there was probably grabbing something.
And I'm also guessing that if Tyler went to jury duty, he would probably wear the shirt that says, "I'm not gay, but $20 is $20."
The whole audience loved that one.
Yeah. But Tyler got him to come out.
All right. Anyway, enough about jury duty. If anyone has questions, hey, it's Cindy in Milwaukee.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Sorry, I dropped over the top of your drop. I'm not used to when you're here. I'm used to when Ryan's here and I actually have to do his job.
She says content's too heavy after her day. Okay, we need to lighten it up here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're done. Appreciate what I've heard, though. I'm out.
Yeah, she comes in here and is like, yeah.
Cindy, we're done.
What kind of radio show is this?
Yeah. Cindy, she's gone. Or we're done with it, Cindy. Sorry. Tell her on Twitter to come back. We're going to talk about, well, maybe not. Cheating husband said our house was infested with bed bugs.
Where you at, bitch?
To hide his affair. Yeah, so the day, just to put a bow on top of it, it was a good experience for me because the anxiety was,
and despite the fact that you weren't
managed.
selected, the prosecuting attorney, his final comment was,
Looks like a nice little guy, actually.
Yes, I was leaving.
And the judge,
looks like a nice little guy, actually.
Yeah, right. So there you go. They thought you were.
By the way, Ryan was like making all these things, saying, "Oh, the judge, when he sees your shirt or when he does." Ryan, it was a female judge. There's female judges as well. You sexist pig. Hey, Ryan.
What's up, pig?
Yeah, sexist
Really?
pig.
There you go.
All right,
you can have that one for him. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'll
it
share
could be for
I'll
the
I'll
sexist
share.
pig.
There you go.
There's
yeah.
female
Johnny's
judges.
on the dresser, baby. I'm done with you.
All right, so we got through all that. I want to know why this guy thought this would work or not. I scared Cindy off, people. I'm sorry. She is not here. I got Jim's in late with the jury comment. Oh, gosh. Jim, once in a while, if you don't come in, I don't have to do this. It's easy.
Hi, Jim.
It's Jim Indiana. He says, I got called for jury duty for the whole social issues of the day. Oh, a black gay man was accused of sexually assaulting another dude. They got their 12 before they got to me. Oh,
Hi,
Jim, I'm like looking at that tweet like, I know
piece of shit.
Jim's not going to go into a bad trolley place, but I had to read it before I finished it. Because, sometimes like the Neils of the world will come in here and you don't necessarily want to read the entire tweet.
I can just imagine these prosecuting attorneys and all the rest of it. Even the defense attorneys, they just like, selecting a jury, and they're just like, sometimes they just like, it's just like nothing to them,
We like to have fun here.
Yeah, right?
Right.
Well, I mean, that's what they signed up for, right? Dude, this jury, the 24 that were in there, it was an odd collection. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It was
let's get to the story.
Yeah, it was every gamut of society. And I don't know what part I fit in that group. I was probably the weirdo. I don't know. Anyway, a wife has revealed her suspicions. I mean, we already scared Cindy off. So a wife has revealed her suspicions that you know what? I was gonna pull one of those old drops for those A shows on a very special Different Strokes.
Right. Exactly right.
Good.
Arnold's friend finds
now.
out he has cancer. Oh, and then at the end of the show, we'll tell you how to talk to your kids about the episode. We'll have
Worst
a question.
Different Strokes episode ever.
Yeah. The bicycle shop.
Gordon Jump. Okay,
that was. That. Dude, we always talk
Dudley,
about because we remember it. As a kid, I'm like,
it was cringe for a fucking 8-year-old.
Horrible.
It was horrible.
Why?
Like, what's going
I
on
don't
here?
know that.
And then looking back on it, it's just the creepy laugh track, right?
Laugh. Oh shit. Yeah, because I mean, they made it entertaining until they got to the gross part, right? Like it was a normal episode, and then it took that turn. Poor Dudley. Poor Dudley.
Poor
You know what's weird is I can't imagine being the actor playing that character. Because that's the dude from WKRP.
Yeah, exactly. Gordon Jump. Yeah.
It's like, dude,
Get your freaking finger out of my asshole, buddy.
Is Cindy here? Because she's gonna be like, okay, they're probably done now. Now we're talking about Different Strokes.
Now they're gonna talk about
the pedo on Different Strokes. What's funny is how old? Maybe 8 or 9, and I remember it because it was so gross. I'm like, why is this on? Why isn't he going, what you talking about, Willis? And we're all laughing. It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway, gosh.
Gross.
But it was disgusting, dude. Anyway, all right. Cheating. A wife has revealed her suspicions that her husband has cheated on her whilst creating an elaborate lie of bed bugs in their home. Maybe she was too dumb and they were crabs. And she's like, no, baby, they're bed bugs. If that goes there, I'm going to get sick. I mean, I already said it, so. Bed bugs in their home to try to hide his affair. Writing on Reddit, because that's where you go when your life is upside down and your husband cheats on you. You go to Reddit. A woman shared, I have been married to my husband, Mark, for 3 years. We have one son, age 5 together. I recently had to travel to another state on business for 3 days. This is common for my job, and Mark rarely complains about it. He has always been supportive of my career. Well, I know why, because you travel a lot. He has always been supportive of my career as I'm the primary breadwinner. This time was no different. However, things quickly became strange to me after I left. I called home on the first night after I got settled in to check on them. Wait. Yeah, right? It took a long time for him to answer. He didn't want to finish that. Right. And when I asked to talk to our son, he eventually told me that our son was staying with his mother, my mother-in-law, so he could have some time by himself to relax. He admitted that after he told me that our son was already asleep, it was only 7 p.m. So first she goes, "Where's our son?" He goes, "Oh, he's asleep." And then she goes, "Wait, sleep at 7? Oh, yeah, right. He's at your mom's. How can I mean, come on, lady." The lie didn't even work. The woman says that her trip ended earlier than planned, and she was able to come home a day early. Eager to surprise her husband, she added, "I figured I would grab takeout from Mark's favorite restaurant on the way home and surprise him. When I got there, no one was home. I called Mark, but he didn't answer. Getting more worried,
eat it, Hud.
She explains that she still couldn't get her husband to answer. By the way, Bacon, you dropping drops while I'm reading the stories and then I start to laugh. I know it secretly pisses Ryan off because he keeps saying, "Oh, the drops and you Bacon and the chemistry." And I'm like, what's wrong, Ryan? You think it's more entertaining than when you're co-hosting, Ryan? Maybe you should learn how to do drops, Ryan, and then you'll have something to do while I read the stories, Ryan.
Dude, you're harsh.
Yeah, right?
Rhino in Sacktown. Feel good about yourself, Ryan.
Not doing anything while I have to do all the work.
Ryan trying to be Mr. Cool is so great.
Okay, so despite being lied to, the woman explains that she fell asleep at home and only heard from her husband at 3 a.m. She continues, "I asked him where he was, and he just said, 'Why?'" That's funny. "Where are you?" "Why?" That pissed me off, you think? So I didn't respond and just went to bed. I woke up again to the sound of the door opening at 6 a.m. It was my husband, and he seemed surprised but excited to see me. I don't think he was excited. I think he was surprised, but he's probably scared shitless. He ran right to me and expressed how happy he was to have me back home. The two of us spent the rest of the night in bed, but I couldn't sleep. In the morning, I confronted him and asked him where he was.
"Hey, baby, you
Go ahead. Where
looking for a party?"
Where the hell he was. He told me that he found out the house was infested with bed bugs and they had to fumigate it. So she calls him, goes, "Where are you?" He goes, "Why?" She gets mad, hangs up, and then he tells her the next morning he fumigated the house and let her stay there all night. God, he's a bad liar. He was staying in a hotel because he had to fumigate it, and it might have been unsafe still when I got home. Probing further, the woman said, then I asked him, okay, I'm not going any farther. He's cheating. We're going to figure that out later. She's going to figure it out. But man, she is gullible for a long time. It took her long enough to get there. I think I would have gotten there with the, why is he asleep at 7 a.m. and then him changing the story to me. Oh, wait, did I say he was asleep? No, he's over at your mom's. I think I would have gotten suspicious then. Just like when I came out of my room at 2 a.m. in the morning, went to the bathroom and I heard my wife upstairs and go, hey, honey, is that you? Right. Oh, shit. My husband's up. I got to go.
What
Click.
an idiot.
It's like bad liar one-on-one. I didn't after that, I didn't go, oh, that must mean nothing. Okay, I'm going back to bed, honey. No, I went like, okay, what's up? Who are you talking to? Why are you scared? Yeah, she was her poker face was gone. She's like, I'm so sorry. Anyway, cheating on the phone with a guy in Ohio. I don't think I've shared that part of the story. They met in World of Warcraft. Started chatting it up. Yes. Anyway, go. I told her to get out of here. Go to mommy. Who is this woman and where exactly? Signed JIT.
Get out of here.
Jim and Indiana. The court of. Oh yeah.
Right.
Don't play games with it.
Yeah. Mock Moda's content reaction to Jim.
Don't forget Mark Racist piece of shit.
Okay. You
Where
know
you at,
what?
bitch?
We're almost done. I mean, do you want to hear about the shower? Is there any story you want to hear before you go? Like the shower in Amsterdam mortified these people. We're not going to do the rude for not saying thank you. Or the 10-year-old on the plane. I mean, you can, if you want that. Or do you want the 3 wives and they're getting surgery?
Quick.
Which one?
The wives.
Okay.
Let's go with it. Yeah.
I have 3 wives. You just want the extra sound drops. I have 3 wives. They are all getting surgery to achieve my ideal body type. Meet the man who has 3 wives and is paying for them to get bigger boobs and a bum lift. Mazaya from the U.S. is a throuple. Is in a throuple. What is that? 4-way? Anyway, with Stephanie. Is in a throuple with Stephanie and Rose, who call themselves sister wives. More recently, a third woman.
You remember what tits look like, right?
Has been added to the mix. The woman who split their time evenly with their shared lover like to coordinate their looks for him and now want to get plastic surgery to match his ideal, in quotes, body shape. Mazaya drew an image up for each wife to show them what he would like them to look like post-surgery.
Anyone for penis?
The unconventional relationship began after Stephanie and Mazaya is the husband, by the way.
Messiah?
Mazaya. Okay, that sounds better. Stephanie and Mazaya, who had been together for 7 years, went their separate ways. When they broke up, Mazaya began dating Rose and suggested the 3 of them become a throuple. Explaining how they made the decision to be together, Stephanie said, "It's not just about sex. It's about family. It's about unity." She continued.
that way?
Having a sister wife is a big benefit to our life because we have a long life friend to depend on. Mazaya added, "She is bisexual, so it was like just like get another girlfriend. It is really nice to have 3 wives." The trio have been together for 5 years, and recently they added a 4th person into the relationship, Des. After meeting her 7 months ago, Dezea added the last little piece of fun and excitement that we needed, Rose said. The quad's unconventional way of life has been criticized by the outside world. Appearing on YouTube channel Love Don't Judge recently, Stephanie explained, "When we started this relationship, we had a lot of judgment from people saying, 'Ew, how can you do that? How can you share your How can you share your man with another woman?' And now that we've added a 3rd person, the judgment is just beyond now than it was in the beginning. No matter what anybody says, it doesn't affect us," Mosiah said. "It's funny because we've probably been in a poly relationship longer than most monogamous relationships." That dude's pointing his finger at me and my 3 marriages because I've had 2 divorces. That guy is he's judging me. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Sure. More. Yes.
That's exactly.
You dick!
Now the women are planning on getting plastic surgery. Stephanie and Dez are getting a breast enhancing, while Rose confessed she wants a Brazilian butt lift. Messiah Messiah controversially commented, I do encourage plastic surgery if it does make the woman's appearance look better.
Or lady clones.
If my wives become out of shape, I will tell them, unquote. The wives all conduct weight training, yoga, and stretch to keep their desired body shapes. Explained the dynamic of their relationship, Rose commented, people think that Messiah is trying to control us because of the dynamic, but they don't understand. They don't understand because they're not in our relationship. We are here because we want to be, unquote. There you go. Any comments on Messiah and the three wives plastic surgery?
Darren says, is this guy hung below the knee?
Right. Right? Oh, shit. Where is it? That's long. I need to move my Boeing over.
We're going to be talking about the penis.
My Boeing is too far to the... I have to swipe 3 screens to get to the Boeing.
That's right.
Well, that should be easy enough.
Anyway, so I will move that to the red pile. And then tomorrow, if we have... I mean, none of these really... Ryan, you're stuck with...
The kid thing...
Ryan really wanted that story, too.
With the kid? Or the...
No, the three wives. He's pissed off that you got it.
Yeah, well, you know.
Ryan wants to hear about 3 chicks
snooze, you
getting
lose,
boobs.
right?
What's that?
You snooze, you lose.
Yeah, Ryan.
I mean, he's the one that's got to do like 3 shows in one evening.
I know.
What an idiot.
Right? We have 1 hour and we're done.
That's
All
right.
right, let me catch up on, hung below the knee, Jim. Yep, we're caught up. I scared Cindy off. Note to self, don't have gruesome topics. Hey, it was my jury duty today. I mean, you know, it was a topic of the day.
You had to share that. That's right. It was definitely the topic of the day.
Yeah, I mean, like the owner of my company, when his wife had jury duty, because I was trying to get out of it and he wouldn't let me out of it. He wouldn't write me a note. He said, my wife had a DUI and, she said it was really interesting and everything else. And I will agree with the interesting. It was way more interesting than I thought it would be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I would rather have a
I can't write that DUI off?
Yeah, right. I would rather have the DUI than the sexual assault. Now, granted, misdemeanor made it. When I found out at the end it was a misdemeanor, I'm like, okay, it wouldn't have been as gross and graphic as I thought. But yeah, I'll take the DUI. Basically, the guy got drunk and he fell asleep in his car, and the cops saw him there. And it was easy. It was an easy guilt. But when they said the charges, 24 people in the courtroom all gave the. We all just. The oxygen just left the room. It was like, nah. So yeah,
Stop it.
I mean, there's court cases that aren't so bad, and then there's ones you just don't want. So anyway, all right. Tomorrow night, 2 football bets, people. I made 2 bets. They're totally different. In fact, they're so different that both of them could pay. I'm drawing 2 names tomorrow night out of the chat. If you come in here, you say one thing in the chat, you are written down, you're eligible. And I'll even tell you the price. One's a $32, so half of that would be $16, and one's $35.50, and half of that would be, oh shit, I just boxed myself in. $17.75, I believe. So yeah, you have a chance to win $16 or $17 tomorrow, folks. All you have to do is show up in the chat. Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals. So it's actually a decent, fun football game.
It should be, anyways.
Yeah, we'll draw at the end of the show. And 2 people will have a chance to win half my winnings. So, yeah, individually it would be $17 and $16. Half of my 35 and 32. So, all right. Any last words, Bacon, or drops?
No, we're good. I just.
Oh shit!
What did we forget?
Shit.
Well, I forgot to do something. I even wrote myself a note. Okay, I'll do it at the very end. I was supposed to put your name up and your. Okay, there it is. There's you, and there's your name. The water hole with bacon and horse. When Brian dropped, I was supposed to change that, and
there you go.
I just saw the freaking note. Anyway, thank you once again for filling in for Ryan.
Always good to pitch in. It's always good to pitch in. So
yeah,
good deal.
And it was a big day for me. It was a very good day for me. So
yeah, that makes it all worthwhile.
Yes. All the anxiety was worth it in the end. All right. Exactly. So tomorrow, Thursday, 5 p.m. tomorrow, folks. 1 hour earlier than tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow for Bacon and me. We're out. Later.